What's good? Fighting DNA, checking in. Let's get right into it. So I already touched up on this topic, but I'm getting back on this topic. So a lot of people say, these fighters price themselves out, and I'm getting back on this topic. So when I was younger, I did a little boxing. I never, went far with it because, I was talked out of boxing because, like I said in my last video, there's a lot of bad promoters in boxing and a lot of people in boxing who, by the end of your career, you could be one of the greatest fighters of all time. And, by the end of your career, you could be broke if you got the wrong people around you or you got the wrong people, as a manager. You could, become broke and, be punch drunk at the same time, like taking all those hits to the head and, giving your heart in the ring and end up broke by the end of your career. So a lot of people say, well, these fighters are pricing themselves out. They want 30 million for a fight. They want 20 million for a fight. They want 10 million for a fight. I'm going to say this right here. I don't blame those fighters. And to be honest, we are in a time of boxing where fighters are really getting paid. When I was growing up, fighters got paid because, I'm not that old, but, fighters got paid, but, they getting paid more than ever now. And, had I would have known that, I would have really took boxing serious and, went pro myself because, it's a lot of money in boxing, and I don't blame these guys. Like, I don't see how people could say, well, this fighter's asking for too much money. If these fighters have great names on their resume and, they put on great performances, they deserve to get paid. And anybody that see it, that these fighters shouldn't get paid, y'all crazy, man. And I'm talking to everybody around the world, boxing fans in particular, because a lot of boxing fans that say, this fighter don't deserve this amount of money, or this fighter is asking for too much money, so he don't want to fight this guy. It ain't that they don't want to fight these guys. It's that they want to get paid. Like, fighting is for legacy, and anything can happen in these fights, and we don't know what can happen in these fights. People have died in the ring. We lost a lot of fighters in the ring this year alone. But Fighting DNA, checking out. Make sure you drop something in the comments. Make sure you sub if you're not already sub. Make sure you smash that like button. Fighting DNA, checking out.